0.
Okay. Alright. Lisan.
Now arriving at Lijiang Town.
I wonder, can I find you on the PS
Probably.
version of YouTube?
Alright, I'm gonna assume you're not playing fair on Control Center.
Much more positive now, aren't you,
I don't know what I was doing, dude. Like I said, it was late. I have more wins than I have losses. That was my issue. I only had 3 losses, and I know one of them for sure was gonna be like, what the fuck are you doing? But, yeah.
Okay, so you're on Sombra here. Your team's taking the weirdest positioning. I don't know. Are they? Wait, hold on. Are they taking? They're just flanking all the way behind them. That's weird. That kind of puts you in a rough spot. As Sombra, you want to take pack control. I like where you put your translocator. It's near a mega. It's really important to. My fucking god, dude. There we go. It's really important to have pack control of Sombra. Now you know your team's pushing in on this McCree. This hack is really good. Right here, that's exactly what you want to be doing. You want to be looking for hacks on the tanks to build your EMP. And if you know somebody's either on their own or low, that's when you want to be going for an assassination. But at the beginning of a team fight like this, going for hacks on a tank so your team can follow up on it is really important. Your D.Va feeds her brains out. I'd be taking this high ground where your Genji is to the left. So like, as Sombra, on this map, I like playing right here on this high ground. Because it gives you the ability to get to the mega. You can hack the mega as well, and then keep a translocator over there. And it's very difficult to contest you, because it takes a long time for most characters to walk up there. And see, right now you almost get caught off guard because of that Brig and the Reinhardt, and you have to translocate pretty far out of the fight. You want to keep your translocator a lot closer to where the fight's happening. Because when you keep it closer, that means you can get back into the fight a lot faster, obviously, and it also gives you, since they buffed Sombra's Translocator, you have the ability to use it a lot more fluidly in fights if you need to. Alright, where'd you go? Yeah, so you keep translocating back there, and like, it's not a bad spot inherently to put a translocator. I gotta find you again, because fucking, hold on, I'm gonna pause this and rebind a fucking spectate target under reticle, because I thought I had one, but I guess not. Is it up on D-pad? Actually, it might be up on D-pad for me. It's literally different for all my accounts, so I never know. Yeah. It says down on the D-pad, but see, alright, let's see if it works. Down on the D-pad, nope, literally staring directly at you, but I can't go down on the D-pad. And I just fucking skipped 20 seconds, damn it. Like I was saying, your translocator usage is like old Sombra. This is okay, cool. Models don't load in. You're using your translocator like Sombra back when she got ult charge from getting health packs.
Yeah, that's when I played her the most.
Yeah, her playstyle's changed a lot. So, like, don't get me wrong, keeping it close. Like, I would keep it right here on these stairs, this translocator, so you can get to the mini or to the mega if you need to. This high ground is solid though, making sure to stay on the high ground. I would have hacked this McCree and then immediately turned around and looked at somebody else. You're gonna translocate here. Ooh, that fire strike was really close to hitting you. Yeah, see, those stairs is a lot better of a spot. Now, it does feel like your team's gonna lose this, but you do hack the Reinhardt and he is one shot. Your Moira helps you focus him down, that's really good. And right now, I would look for a hack on his Lucio. Yep, good job. Lucio's a super good hack target. Ash comes up on your right. Ooh, the Kree didn't even see you. Lucio's a really good hack target though, because when you hack him, obviously he literally has nothing he can do but shoot at you. He can't wall ride, he can't do anything like that. Nice tracking onto the Ash. I was about to say you should hack this mini, but you do. Good job. So right now you're playing. Ooh, yeah, that was a greedy attempt for an EMP. I personally, after you translocated out, I would have tried to rotate around the back through dark, and if nothing else, just like play it in this little doorway right here, so you could basically gauge where the fight is. But when you want to go for the EMP, you never just want to walk at them. Never, ever, ever. It's literally the worst thing you can do, in my opinion. What?
I think
What?
this
What
next
is
part,
happening, dude?
yeah, dude, this next part, I was just like watching this happen and then unfold. So I was just like, what the fuck?
Why are these tanks on high ground? I mean, it's a good hack there into the Reinhardt, but
I was just trying to waste their time until my like
no, yeah,
teammates,
you,
because I was playing with people.
yeah, no, you're doing the right thing, but like, I'm just so confused. You translocated a little early there. You could have stayed in a little bit longer if you wanted to, and if you didn't want to stay in, I don't know. You feel you translocate, and obviously, like this comes with new translocator being very different from old translocator. But your mechanics with translocator itself feel really clunky. You like really take a long time to set it up. Where just throw it in somewhere safe. You know, there's no need to take your time. Now you did kill the brig, so you could go for a hack on her and spawn, try and delay her. But I think pushing forward here is definitely a decent call. You take high ground
I
just a
do
little bit.
think a lot of the times when I'm
Hmm.
doing the when you see me standing still, I'm looking at the comps.
Okay. I was gonna say when you're standing still there, you should at least be trying to move. And but I mean, especially as Sombra, since you're invisible, you have the time to move while you're looking at team comps. You don't necessarily have to stand still for that, especially while you're invis. But again, this fight I probably would have tried to take you. You came up to the stage, and that puts you in such a rough position. Look how many people are looking at you right now. There's 4 people looking at you.
Just look at that McCree's feet.
Yeah, but there's 4 people looking at you right now.
Yeah.
If you came up over here and tried to get a hacking on the Reinhardt from over here, you would have been much safer. And worst comes to worst, you could have, left your translocator up here near this mega. I probably would put my translocator right here, around this corner, because that's just, in my opinion, the best spot to play as Sombra on this map. Alright, you get stunned here. I'm assuming you're gonna translocate out immediately. Yeah. And see how far your translocator is from the fight? You don't have to have it so far. You can put it further up on the bridge. Like, so if you want to play near that, if you want to play for that mega in dark, this is where I would put the translocator, right up here. Because this gives you the option to go straight back into the fight onto the high ground or back to the mega. You want to have options as much as you can on Sombra. You want to make sure you have as many options to do whatever you want, basically. Looks like you're going for a hack on the Kree. You hack the Kree a lot, and
Yeah, I don't want to get flashbanged.
yeah, like that'd be good if you're trying to
Too
take.
bad.
Ooh, that's unlucky. um, Hacking the Kree is good if you're looking for duels on him, but if you're not really looking for duels, there's no point to hacking McCree because odds are he's not gonna 90% of the time his flashbang isn't gonna fuck one of your tanks up too bad, you know. Usually flashbang is more for flankers, more for dueling other DPS. So I'd be looking for hacks on the Ryan or the Zarya over and over again, maybe in the Lucio. It's a really good EMP. It's like this situation where just EMPing off the ground is perfectly fine, where your team already has good positioning, but Jesus Christ, his ass just cleaned up. But like I was saying, whenever you hack somebody, or whenever you come out of invis in general, you want to be thinking one of 3 things. You want to know what your plan is, rather. You want to be thinking, am I going for an assassination? Am I setting up for a play? Or am I just going for ult charge? If you're going for an assassination, obviously you want to be looking for a squishy. If it's something like a McCree that has a stun, yeah, hacking it's definitely a good idea. Or like a Genji who has a lot of mobility, hacking it is a good idea. Um, Again, going for, just in general, when you come out of invis, hacking is solid, but you need to know who to hack based on what your plan is going to be that fight. So if you're playing for EMP, or playing for ult charge rather, you want to be hacking a tank so that you can, so they can't matrix you, or they can't bubble, or they can't shield, whatever it may be, so that you can get more ult charge off shooting at them. If you want to go for an assassination, you want to hack whoever you're trying to assassinate, obviously. And if you want to set up for a play, like for example, if you want to set up for, let's say, a Genji Blade, you want to be looking for a hack on their support line, so that they can't use support ults, they can't use stuff like boop, stuff like armor pack to keep people up through it. Alright, I'm not paying attention to where you are at all right now, hold on. Okay, so you came out of spawn a little late. That's probably just you took a moment to decide what you want to do. So if that go here, you start off with stickies. I always think it's a good option. Your Sigma literally just gets fucking alpha on.
Oh, you know what? This is the game that I was like basically throwing on. I gotta tell you.
So you're taking a lot of the same angles that as your tanks here with Echo, and Echo's a hero that has liberty to take basically any angle she wants as long as she gets healed, and your Mercy did seem like she was trying to keep heals on you. So personally, I would have tried to look for a flank, not necessarily like a hard flank, but you know, just a safe flank to try and get stickies and damage around the Rhine shield, so that if he just put it up, it wouldn't just completely block it. Like taking this angle above the shield is always really nice with Echo, and that's why she's such a strong hero in that sense. Your team should not be pushing this area at all to begin with. I'm 100% honest. Your Reinhardt charges in and basically just throws. Not much you can do about that. But right here, if you're when you're playing Echo and you're down a teammate, you have to be looking for assassinations, and it looks like that's what you're going for. It looks like you're trying to go for the Ashe and the Kree in the back line. But against double hitscan, it's really hard to play Echo. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. Unless you have a hard pocket,
Yeah,
it's
that's
very difficult.
basically what I said I was throwing, because I don't think I switch.
Okay. Yeah, I 100% would have switched at this point onto something else. And again, you seem to be taking the same. Oh no. Okay, never mind. You found a little ledge to sit on. But you seem to be taking a lot of the same angles over and over again as your tanks are and your McCree, and that's not what you want to be doing with Echo. Echo at her core is a flanker. Just like Sombra, just like, okay, your fucking main tank is literally fucking throwing. Jesus. Okay, so in this situation, you have to be thinking about who am I going to copy. I'd be looking for a copy either onto the Ashe for Bob, or the Brig or the Rhine for the brawl potential that she has. You have to be really careful where you are, because the Kree's right behind you, and yep. You're very close to the Brig with the Kree behind you. It leaves you very open to getting chain stunned over and over again. So Echo, since she doesn't have damage drop off, is actually one of the best heroes to play, like for long range poke essentially. All right, let's see what you're doing here. You fly into the point here, copy the Rhine. It's a good copy. If you could have gotten a pin on the Brig, that would have been a game changer. I think that would have easily won you the fight here, but now you've really got to work for it. So okay, let's go back for a second. You come in and you copy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you copy the Reinhardt here, and when you pin past him to try and get the Brig, it's a good call. Hold on, I want to see. Okay, I was waiting until models loaded in. It's a good call to go for the Brig here with the pin. I'm not sure if you meant to, but you completely ignore the Rhine behind you, and two people are bubbled in front of you. There's a fully charged Zarya, Kree, like their entire team's in front of you, whereas their Rhine is behind you, completely cut off. If nothing else, you can turn around, go swing at him for ult charge, and just go for a shatter off of that. But instead you push into their front line, which has their fully charged Zarya, their Ashe, their McCree, their Brig, their Lucio, everything they need to keep themselves up is where you're pushing into. You don't want to be doing that, especially once you get the copy in. Alright, I completely lost what you were doing throughout after you got knocked out of the copy there though. Alright, so you get stunned here, you push forward trying to get your ult charge, and I mean, it's not a bad idea. You just gotta keep in mind that dying in the copy is definitely not what you want to be doing. But you get knocked out of your copy, and you're targeting the Zarya here. The Zarya is almost full health. I don't agree with it, but the Kree rolls into your sticky mines, and you go to focus him down. Lucio beats, so at this point, honestly, you have a lot of teammates alive on point. At this point, I'm out of the point. I'm taking positioning. I'm probably behind them through the window if I can. And yeah, you don't want to be sitting on the point as Echo. You want to think of Echo a lot like Pharah, where you want to be basically spectating the fight. You don't want to be essentially the person brawling on point. Alright, you'll be back soon enough here. And like, I know this is a stall situation. Aw, man, if you didn't have your shield up, you would have killed the Brig mid-rally. That would have been fantastic, but unfortunately for you. See, you don't really take the best advantage of Echo's range, I've noticed. And I mean, I know you said that you were kind of tired, it was late or something, so you probably weren't playing at your best. But with Echo, you really want to be, oh, your fucking Moira just got pinned out of nowhere. But with Echo, you really want to be taking long angles because she has the damage to do that. She has no damage drop off. She has the Sticky Mines that do a stupid amount of damage. The only time you're going to be getting close to people as Echo, really, is to finish a kill. Good dodge onto the high noon. You almost get caught in the grab, but yeah, he just holds it because there really isn't too much you can do. So yeah, that's the biggest issue I see with your Echo play. The angles you're taking are just really close angles, and they're risky. You know, it's you're trying to go for basically a melee style Echo, if anything, and Echo's strength really is just her sheer mobility, her sheer range that she can play at. Like obviously she isn't Widowmaker, she's an Ashe, she isn't Kree, but you can still take those. You can still take those longer angles to make sure that you can at least spam out at tanks or like a Ashe that's scoped in, stuff like that.
Now arriving at Helios.
And as for your Sombra play, I think you really need to work on your translocator usage. If you want to, after this, I can show you something of what I mean. But you, honestly, I would recommend watching Fitzy, because Fitzy's translocator usage is really fucking good. Do you know who that is? Fitzy here.
Yeah, I used to watch him a lot, but I
Yeah,
wasn't really on it.
honestly, Jesus, I couldn't say that word. I would go in and watch some of his Sombra play and really focus on how does he use his translocators, because it's a really big part of Sombra. Alright, so we're on well here. You see an enemy Pharah. Okay, actually, hold on, I'm gonna rewind it right away.
Ready for battle.
So when you're playing Pharah on well, you want to fly up in the air and immediately you're gonna be spamming at their team. It doesn't matter if you're not hitting it doesn't matter if you're not hitting shots. Right here, you have a beautiful angle that basically leads directly to where they're gonna be walking out of spawn. You want to be spamming in here because that's what at her core. That's what Pharah is. Pharah is a spam hero. She spams out at teams until eventually either shields break or she gets an ult or whatever it may be. From our spawn, you can shoot all the way down this lane, completely hit every single one of these people if you're aiming correctly. Obviously, it's not super easy to hit it while you're trying to focus more on hovering, but it's something you want to be doing. And if you don't see anyone, okay, well, rather, hold on. Let's see. You come out here, right? You see the Pharah fly up in the air. You don't really see too many people past that. You want to be, if nothing else, shooting at the Pharah. Okay, but anyways, good spam here, shooting down at the Orisa shield. This is gonna be what you're doing against this team comp. You want to be spamming out this Orisa shield over and over again, letting your team take advantage of it. You need to work on your fuel management as well on Pharah. Alright, you go for
No,
boop.
that's the thing that's been like, I used to be really, really, really good and fine with it, and then like just recently, since I started to play her more, since roll queue, I guess, I don't know how to fly anymore.
Alright, I know I have a really good practice for that. Because when I stopped playing Pharah for a while, I got really bad with fuel management, and I had to work on it really hard to make sure it got to where it was. And I mean, shit, you saw how I helped Vinny with it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna rewind there again, so I can talk a little bit about this fight. So you're spamming in over the Ursa shield. I think this is a good call. You try and go for a boop here. And something you can do if you have bad fuel management as Pharaoh is you can honestly just boost her onto high ground and just play the high ground. As if you're playing like an Ashe, you know? Because Pharah's biggest advantage is the ability for her to basically be looking straight down on you and get splash damage, because it's very difficult to shoot at somebody looking straight up. So with Pharah, you want to be, if nothing else, just taking high ground over them. You know that they have a Pharah, so just standing still on the high ground obviously would be really risky. And obviously your Mercy isn't pocketing you because you guys have Mercy Lucio. Wait, no, you don't. You have Mercy Moira. Why is he? Okay, never mind. We're not talking about your Mercy. But you, honestly, standing on this ledge right here is something I do every once in a while when I just don't want to bother worrying about my fuel management, or if I'm just running low on fuel for whatever reason because I mismanaged it. Just standing on this ledge is really nice to just regain your footing. Basically, just give yourself a soft reset in the middle of the fight, and it'll give you a nice angle onto this Roadhog, onto the Lucio, onto the Doomfist back here, and it'll keep you safe as well from this Pharah until she decides to challenge you, and that's when you move away from that angle. Yeah, you're on the ground here. You got a nice kill under the Roadhog. That's a lot of ult charge for you, and you go in for the Orisa in the back. I actually agree with this call a lot. The Orisa's sectioned off. She doesn't have a lot of healing with her, considering Lucia's the only healer on the team alive right now. So you can probably get a kill under her. Nice shots. Oh, she snipes you out of the air, but still, it's a good kill. And of course, taking down tanks is really important in winning your team. The fight, okay, your Orisa is fucking stupid. So you've killed both the tanks. In theory, you should just win the fight outright from this. Your Mercy pops Valkyrie from spawn, or not from spawn, from the side to try and keep up your team. I'm gonna skip past this a little bit. Man, the Roadhog really wants to get these pulls into the well, but he has not hit a single one. Alright, so you come back from spawn, you're spamming out the angle of where they're gonna be coming from, most likely. I like it a lot. Good boop onto the hog again. Okay, so this fair barrage is good. That's exactly what you need to be doing. Obviously, she gets a 3-man barrage. Not much you personally can do about that. You only have so much rate of fire. But whenever you are playing Pharah, it is your job to take out a Pharah if she's mid-barrage. That's why I always, Ooh, you should be backing out here. You go in for more poke. You already have your ult. There's no reason for you to be poking out. If Pharah got res right in front of you, so you should just back out to play it safe here. Okay. But that's why I always wait till the other Pharah's dead, or at least just far away until I barrage, because Pharah is so easy to kill as another Pharah while she's mid-barrage. Alright, good follow-up onto the hook there, that your Moira gets hooked mid-coalescence, which blows, but oh well. You're putting pressure here on the Pharah, and I'm not sure how confident you are in dueling Pharahs as Pharah, but based on what I've seen so far, you don't seem too confident in it. So I like this this change in play style, going over to shoot at the Orisa instead. Again, if this Orisa is on her own with no heals, this is an easy kill for you. Alright, I like how you're staying on the lighthouse though, it's a really important thing. You poop him into the pit again, dude! This poor hog! So far, you really haven't damn, she built another barrage. Your team is feeding. Ah, you don't have a shield, that makes sense. Honestly, right now, you're playing Pharah fine. Your Mercy isn't pocketing you at all, and you're doing a really good job of making sure to play safe, since your Mercy isn't pocketing you. I know that's a problem I have, personally. But now they've swapped
I'm
D.Va.
kind of dissatisfied with how long I hold on to my barrage, though.
That's what I was about to comment on. You've held on your barrage for a while, but honestly, you really haven't had the best.
Use it here and fail. I'm just saying.
I will in a
that's
second.
Exactly what happened.
I will in a second here, but your barrage, you really haven't had a great opportunity to use it. Nobody's really grouped up. So personally, if it were me, this Doomfist is fucking up your backline real hard. I would just solo him. Because you've killed this Orisa twice now without Mercy Pocket, without her really putting too much pressure on you, aside from the first time where you got poked out by someone else as well. So honestly, like going over killing the Orisa, and then I would personally, what I would have done in that last fight was do exactly what you did to go kill the Orisa, then used my concussion to go all the way back across point and try and solo the Doomfist because he's fucking up the backline on your team so much. It doesn't help, of course, that your Roadhog is literally only playing for hooks into the well, and you guys don't have any CC aside from him.
When I was still playing with one of my duo partners, he played Pharah a lot, and what he would do is he would
Oh, let me make party private.
If he died, it wouldn't matter. If he got nobody, he would just use it, hoping to get one or two. And
that's what you should be looking
that's
for.
That's what I want to do, and then I get nervous to do it because I'm like, shit, I'm gonna fuck it up, so I just don't do it.
So I know you've seen how I barrage. My philosophy with Barrage is you want to just fucking drop on somebody out of a weird angle and go for 1 or 2 kills with it. It's a lot like Reaper Ult, in my opinion, where you don't really want to be playing for the massive 5-man barrages every time because that isn't consistent. It's not something you can rely on at all. But if you can regularly get the 1-2-man barrages, that's usually enough to win team fights. And I mean, I know you've seen that for sure. Whenever I go for a barrage on literally just like 2 squishies or like a fully charged Zarya, just to make sure that we can finish him off. And I mean, if you die, you die. That's just how barrage works. You're gonna die a lot in that ultimate. But again, you're shooting down here at the tanks, and this Doomfist is single-handedly, completely wrecking the 5 other people on your team. Good conk on the D.Va while she's flying at you. Your team finally fucking kills the Doomfist. Not again. Don't tell me this guy gets moved again. Okay, I thought he was gonna get moved again. Your Mercy is literally not helping you at all. It's really unfortunate.
No, they had more than anything.
Alright, so you go for a flank here. At this point, you have 3 kills in the fight. I don't think you need a barrage, and I don't think you need to either. Now, it is a fortified Orisa, so you gotta be really careful, because she can fuck you up real hard, and your Mercy hasn't been pocketing you at all, so you die. That sucks. She fucked up your concussion mid... Or not your concussion, your jump jet, which blows, but, well, not much you can do about that. I mean, actually, hold on, let's go back and watch that. So there is actually something you can do about that. I'm gonna play this in regular speed so that I can actually see if you had enough time to react to it, because something a lot of people do when they see a halt coming to them is they panic and they use their mobility abilities immediately, just without even really thinking about it. But a lot of the time, if you get halted, you might want to just wait until the halt finishes, until the slowdown finishes, and then use your mobility to get out of there. So right here, no, that halt was really close. It was a good halt, and then your Mercy literally refuses to heal you for whatever reason, and she doesn't res you, even though it's literally a free res. I like the angles you're taking on Pharah, but again, if you have better fuel management, then you definitely have a much easier time. So you respawn, and right here, look, you're literally just staring at people. There you go. You start spamming in. The moment you come out of spawn, you're spamming at these angles all the time. Overwatch is not a game where you have to worry about your ammo at all. So the more ammo you use, the more likely you are to get damage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a good conk away from the D.Va again. You're doing a really good job of counterplaying this D.Va. I'm assuming it's from the the experience you have on D.Va.
Yeah.
Alright, so right now your job is to kill this bongo. There you go. Ooh, no, yeah. I guess you were ducking away during the reload, but yeah. As D.Va, or as Pharah, it is your job there to kill the bongo, I mean. You get a nice boop onto the Orisa, and dude, this D.Va is just all over you, and your Mercy refuses to heal you. So honestly, what you're doing right now is really good. You're just playing safe until finally you get heals. Hello? Holy fuck, is this Mercy playing the game? Alright, so they waste... Yeah. They waste sound barrier. Right now, D.Va's out of mech. This is where I'd be looking to go into their backline to solo the Orisa. You guys gave up a cap, but I mean, it's fine. So like right now, at this point in the game, yep, just solo somebody. If you die, you die. Good barrage, really good barrage actually. You take out the main healer and the main tank for their team, your fucking hog is gun pooped into the hole about as much as their tanks have, which is saying a lot. There's no way you guys lose this fight, is there? Alright, no, okay. Alright, and now you come back, you see the Mercy fly in. Oh, holy shit, you guys are gonna lose. Okay, so back here, you saw the Mercy fly in, and you know that several people have died on point. Why would you want to think to yourself, why would a Mercy be flying into the middle of point in this overtime situation? There's literally only one feasible reason that I can think of, and it's to go for a resurrect. So the moment you see this Mercy fly in, your focus needs to turn from the Orisa to the Mercy below you, who's going for the res. I know you try and go for the conk, but you just don't aim down fast enough, and your team somehow loses this fight where Jesus Christ. I mean, this just goes to show how important shields are, because
This. Ooh.
your tanks are really fucking bad, and your Mercy literally refuses to heal you. It sucks, but... Alright, so you're going Ashe here.
I think this is a bad Ashe round though, because we do lose this game.
It's alright. That's what we're here to learn. That's why we're here to learn, rather. Alright, so with Ashe, you're going to be taking similar angles to Widowmaker. I'm assuming that's what you're going to be going for here.
It's the Doomfist that's gonna be fucking us up.
Ooh, why did you drop off high ground here? There was literally zero reason for you to drop off high ground and just got you killed.
That's my one issue, I know that 100%. I always walk off the high ground. I have like no depth perception.
Okay. I mean, if that's such a big issue, then I don't know how to fix that. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you.
I just gotta keep making the mistakes and learning. Every time I make a mistake on a certain high ground, I like fuck with myself the entire game until it's like,
until
don't
you fix
do
it.
it.
Yeah. Ooh, nice shot into the Mercy there. I like this angle you have right now. Fair, 2 shots to you. That's why it's really risky standing still as a sniper.
Yeah, I was standing still.
Yeah. Especially against a Fair, you wouldn't think that Fair would be the best hero to take somebody out that's standing still, considering how slow her rockets travel compared to some of the other things in this game. But yeah, if you're standing still, Fair's gonna fuck you up. Alright. I like how you're taking a different angle from where your Widow is. That's really important. Nice headshot into the Doom. No, good shots onto the Doom, and your Widow helps you take him out as well. You missed your dynamite, which definitely would have let you kill him alone, but it's alright. Dude, it's crazy how your Mercy is literally more focused on fucking healing a Roadhog that's down 30 health than you when you're 60. Alright, you try for a dynamite over the shield, but you just misjudge it a little bit. I do that shit all the time. It's kind of hard to tell where shields are in this game sometimes. He's gonna come for you for sure.
Yeah.
Good reaction. You actually ended up grouping up with your Widow there, which I'm assuming wasn't on purpose.
It was on purpose.
Why?
Cause we were in a group together.
No, grouping up, I mean like standing next to your Widow.
Oh.
When the meteor strike come in. Like, here, let me show you what I mean.
Why that was.
I think it was just you just happened to do it. But like, you guys were at, I mean, not completely different angles, but you guys definitely had some distance between you guys. Hello? I just backed up. Oh, okay, I guess the animation for the meteor strike played, but it didn't.
I think I was trying to move to that high ground or something. I wasn't really thinking about it.
Mm-hmm. So right now, actually, you and your Widow are taking the exact same angle, and obviously, sometimes it's just something that happens, but it's got to be something you recognize. And right now, like literally, you two are standing inches apart. That's never something you want to do in this game, especially not as snipers. But you end up walking towards her, and he gets a shitload of damage on you when he would have only gotten a kill on her, and you could have been fine if you just made sure you knew where she was and walked away instead. That was really funny to see you two literally fucking side by side. Alright, so I'm pretty sure I know why you took this rocket. You don't, when you respawn, most of the time you're not looking at your screen, do you? Because that's what it looks like right here.
The touchpad.
Alright, you need to pay attention when you walk out of spawn, especially against long-range heroes like a Fair, because you almost just get 2-shot out of spawn. And that would have been awful for you. That really would have hurt you. Alright, so I like that you're taking this left angle onto the Pharaoh. You missed a shot there. All you can really do about that is work on your aim a little more. Good dynamite over the shields. Pharaoh's 1-shot. Good follow-up on your Widow shot. Unfortunately, your Ryan just fucking runs in like he's fucking fortified or something. Good conk there to make sure that you get the Doomfist off, but again, you walked off the high ground here. and I'm assuming it's again with your, what you said about your depth perception, but right here you have zero incentive to walk off this high ground at all. Maybe rotate to the high ground over to your right, but you have a beautiful angle over to the point. You can see almost the entire point from up here. Why do you drop off? And you end up walking close enough to the halt where it actually pulls you down as well. So even if you wanted to get back up, it would have taken a while. And then you have to use your concussion, or your shotgun, I mean, to get away from the Doomfist. And then it just leaves you really open to him fucking you up. And you even look down at the ground there to try and use it, but since you have to use it to get the Doomfist away from you because you're on low ground, you don't have it for when the Moira tries to focus you down. Alright, you get rezzed up in a very unfortunate spot.
I think the Mercy is trying to sabotage the game, bro.
Honestly, it feels like it. I'll be 100% honest with you. Okay, so you're walking out of spawn here. I'd be taking this right angle. Right here, I'd be coming up to this high ground. This is where I want to play in this fight, especially if the fight's going to take place where my team is. Obviously, it's not happening, but from what it looks like from when you were coming out of spawn, it looked like the fight might be taking place out in this little courtyard area. This high ground is fucking incredible for that. And that way it gives your Widow the opportunity to take the longest sideline to either sit here top left or sit back here on the ruins and get a long angle. Because obviously, since you're trying to make sure you don't take the same angle as your Widowmaker, she's gonna be trying to make sure she doesn't take the same angle as you as well. Alright, you come and fall up in the same angle. This is something I see a ton, especially in Plat and below. And it's this whole idea of let's all funnel into the same choke over and over again. You are playing a DPS. You don't need to be going up the main choke with your tanks at all. You're not playing Lucio to escort them. You're not playing Brig to make sure you pocket them. You're playing Ashe, meaning you want to be taking different sidelines. You want to be taking long angles. You're trying to take the same angle as your front line, which is going to mean that a lot of damage is being pumped into that angle from one direction or another because there's your tanks, there's your Moira, there's your Mercy in that same angle. Right now where your Mercy stood is more or less where you want to be stood. I don't know. Never mind. It's a good dynamite behind the shield or right before the shield. I'm not really sure what happened there. And at this point, you need to be playing for Bob. Oh, you almost killed that Mercy. Oh, she gets killed anyway. Right, you're doing a good job of staying on high ground, but I mean, it's just kind of too little, too late, you know. And you get killed by Skill Orb.
Well, that's the first thing I worked on when I started playing Ashe.
Yeah, you really need to make sure you're staying on high ground. Even if somebody forces you off.
I should
So,
have Bob right there. Holy shit, dude.
But even if you, what's it called? Even if you're being forced off the high ground over and over and over again, that means that they're committing resources to take you off the high ground, you know? It's something that you're forcing them to do. You're not just literally giving it up for free. Because if they have to commit, for example, let's just go to that Doomfist example right there. If you have to commit, or if he rather has to commit his uppercut and his seismic to contest you on the high ground, then those are two abilities he's not getting damage out of, he's not getting shields out of, he's not hurting your team with. And you know, and like that the same thing applies to a lot of different heroes. If there's a diva contesting you on high ground over and over again, then and that means that she's not either on your other DPS, on your other team, or on the rest of your team rather. She's not using her matrix and her boosters to contest the rest of your team. But anyways, I'm coming down, or I'm showing you here. This is what I use to get better at my field management as Pharah. You basically just come over this edge, and you want to just keep flying. I'm flying, and I'm flying. And keep an eye on your fuel gauge. Literally don't look at anything else while you're trying to focus on your fuel management. And once it gets towards a red, that's more or less when your hover should be, or your jump jet rather, should be coming online. Like, it dips down into the red a little bit here, dips down a little bit into the red, and then when it's all the way down in the red, that's when your jump jet comes back off online. And eventually...
What button do you use for...
I hover with L2. I have my jump on X, but I still hover with L2. I debated for a while changing my jump to L2, but I honestly just didn't like it. And if you, and like, I know I sometimes have, like, there's games sometimes where I'm just like, I am not staying in the air enough. So when I go to take off, even if it's without a jump jet, I'll just literally rocket jump off the ground a little bit. So it gives me a little bit of extra distance if I know I'm not doing my field management very well. It gives me a little bit longer time to try and get my jump jet back up, and then whenever I have it, there we go, just straight back up in the air. L2 is, in my opinion, the superior version, or the superior way to hover with Pharah.
Yeah, when I first started playing her, like when I first got the game,
hmm
I did not know L2 was a thing. And I did default controls, so I was fucking hovering with X and like, how the hell do you play this goddamn character, bro?
Yeah, it's definitely, once you figure out how to hover with L2, it's a lot easier.
I also need help. My sensitivity with Fair, I don't know what to do. I had it fast at one point, and then I had it slow at one point. Right now, it's kind of a combination, but it's just like, if I have it too fast, I overcompensate way too much. If I have it too slow, then I can't do anything.
Honestly, I have the same sensitivity for all my characters, literally every single one of them, so I know, like, it's just muscle memory to me at this point. I know exactly how far to flick in a lot of situations if I want to. And especially with Farah. Farah is potentially a flick-heavy character. She doesn't have, like, there's no real reason to track with Farah, unless you're going for a barrage, I guess. Um, like, especially in Farah duels, you want to be, a lot of the time you're going to end up flicking because they're going to be going for crazy movements as best they can, you know? You're going to be dodging back and forth like this. Sometimes you go right two, and then left one, left right, over and over again. And then that's when you start fucking up with your fuel management. You saw right there, I almost fell because of it. And that's when you want to be, like, that's the best way to practice, in my opinion, just doing fair duels with somebody else. That helps you not only manage your fuel, it helps you land directs as well. And honestly, like, the only advice I can give for landing directs and shit is practice. Fair, Fair is a hero that just requires practice, to be completely honest. She requires experience, she requires a lot of dedication. If you want to be really good at her, especially in a meta like this, where hit scan is so prevalent. There is a really nice trick. Hold on, I'll show you. On a better map to show you. Alright, Dorado. So, I'm sure you've heard this in the past, but something you can do as well to try and conserve your fuel is slide on roofs. So, let me show you what I mean. So when you're hovering, right, anytime you go up at all, or you stall out at all, like the moment you stop going down, basically, it starts consuming fuel. If you get over to a roof, you're not going up, but you're kind of slowing down, right? So you can literally just sit on this roof and basically consume almost no fuel at all to stay up here for a really long time. Because you're falling a lot slower, meaning that you're not going to be consuming, or rather, you're not going to be needing as much fuel, so you can use less fuel to stay up here for longer. And I'm sure you've seen me do this sometimes when we play Fair on Dorado. I'll literally just sit on these roofs for a little bit, and then when I'm ready, I go over top, conk in, and then go for a kill, you know?
Yeah.
Using roofs to your advantage is really important as Pharah. That's why Pharah is good on maps that have buildings that are under the skybox. Because obviously there's some maps like Numbani, for example. Numbani isn't that great a Pharah map because there's not really too many angles where you can hide over a roof like this.
Yeah, it's like flat walls.
They're flat walls, really tall buildings where the skybox goes past the building, or the building rather goes past the skybox. Like on a map like Dorado or Rialto, you have these roofs where you can play, or you can just literally hover over them over and over again, making sure that you're playing really safe and you can conserve your fuel really effectively. And that's honestly one of the biggest problems I saw in your Pharah gameplay. Honestly, like, you took good angles as Farah. You were doing the right thing, but your fuel management made it so you couldn't really take them you couldn't really stay at those angles for as long as you wanted, basically. Alright, let me show you what I mean about translocator usage now, because that was definitely a really big, that was a really big, really glaring issue with your Sombra gameplay. So obviously you know how a translocator works now, right? You throw it,
Yeah. It respawns itself while it's out.
yeah, but yeah, the cooldown refreshes while it's out. So if I'm gonna push somebody, I can drop that translocator on high ground, you know, come out of my invis, shoot a little bit, teleport back, drop it immediately, and keep going. So something I saw you doing a lot is you translocate and then you just kind of like wait around and then drop your translocator and go. And that's not... Sombra's a character where you need to constantly be doing actions. Whether it's hacking, going invis to scout, dropping a translocator, shooting. You want to be basically just moving around the map really effectively, and that's she is one of the best heroes for that. So right now, if I'm fighting someone right here, right, and I see that they're backing up towards that mega, I can teleport over, drop it to his locator, and punish them here on the mega, right? And then if they, I don't know, if it's a McCree who hits a headshot on me, right, as I'm dropping, I already have my translocator to get back up here. And something that you should never be scared to do as well is cancel your translocator if it's really far away. So like Corey, a long time ago when he played Sombra, he would leave translocator in fucking Narnia. So let's say we're pushing second point, we're almost through second point, right? Corey would sometimes leave his translocator in a spot like that far away, and we're fighting over here. And Corey's like, okay, I'm out of invis Sombra, right? I hack this person, I shoot this, do whatever. Oh, I'm low. If you translocate across the map, you leave your team at a 5v6 for a very, very long time. That's why I call out where translocators are whenever I'm playing against the Sombra, because it lets us have a better understanding of how much time we have before she comes back. So right now, if I were to leave my translocator up there, right, let's say I'm defending here, and the team's pushing the payload right around the corner. I'm probably going to leave my translocator up there and try and take this angle over here. Yes, it's not high ground, but it's still a flank angle. This is somewhere you might be able to just hide around the corner, get a quick hack, and then poke out and start poking. And you translocate if you're low, drop it again, and you can get right back into the fight immediately. See how I'm constantly just throwing my translocator no matter what? I'm just always have it down if it's off cooldown. I don't ever want to be looking down at the ground to perfectly angle my translocator. If an enemy finds my translocator, okay, whatever, I can drop another one, you know? But it's not... Translocator is just something you want to know where it's going at all times, or it's just something you want to trust in. That's what I'm trying to say. You want to just trust that it's in a good position, and obviously that comes with experience, but you need to know, or you need to be able to be a lot more fluid with your translocators. And this is something that helped me out with it a lot. I'd throw my translocator and then turn away, and then basically just try and, like, based off the speed, try and guess when the translocator would land where I want it to be. So if I want to get over to that high ground, I'm just going to throw it, turn around, and then it'll translocate right above it. And that gives you... That makes it so that you can do other stuff with your translocator. So if our team's pushing up main right here and I want to drop my translocator on high ground, I can just throw it up there and immediately look away because I know it's going to land around that high ground. Then if I need it, I can get back up here. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, and something really interesting that Fitzy does that I've been doing a lot, based off of watching him, is, you know, he'll drop a translocator, he'll do whatever he has to. He'll translocate and immediately just throw it into the fight just to get a hack angle or an angle for that. And you can't be scared to do that with Sombra. If there's a Reinhardt standing in front of you, just holding his shield up, and you're playing for a hack shatter, you could honestly just throw your translocator over him, turn around on the ground, and while you're falling, just hold down your hack, and it'll give you a hack angle. Or you can just shoot at him to turn him around, whatever it may be. Odds like using your translocator in the middle of a fight to actually help you out in the fight is really helpful, and that's why I like keeping it close by. So if I can have it set up preemptively before the fight starts. If I'm playing defensive here, and they're pushing around this corner, I'm taking this fight. When I have to back out, I can translocate onto the high ground right away. I have a beautiful angle onto them. I can go for hacks, and if I wanted to, Jesus, and if I wanted to, I can just cancel my translocator, throw it in, and go for an EP right here. Or go for a hack, go for a kill, whatever it may be. Sombra's a hero you really need to be not necessarily confident in playing the hero necessarily, but you just have to have this aura of confidence while playing Sombra. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You, like the more confident you play with Sombra, the more aggressive you can play, giving you better opportunities to go for hacks, go for kills, set up for these plays that are really important. What else were we looking at? I can't remember. We looked at Pharah Echo. Okay. So, Echo, as I said, no damage drop off means that she has great damage. Look at how tight. Okay. Something people really seem to neglect is how tight her spread is, even at range. Look how far I am from there. This is really tight spread considering how far I was. Like, if that's anything other than a squishy, I'm hitting all three of them. And even if it is a squishy, I'll probably hit two of them from
Yeah.
back there where I was. So that's why you want to be taking angles with Echo that are really far away. So if they're, okay, I know I've used this example like 4 times already, but it's just a good example. If people are pushing around this corner, I want to be taking an angle back here. I fucked up my, my glide, but, you know, that comes with practice. But you want to be taking this long angle. It gives you, look how tight this is. This is easily going to hit all three on a squishy as long as I aim it correctly. And obviously you're not going to be hitting all three on a squishy over and over again. That's just not feasible. But it gives you the opportunity to hit them from this long angle. You seem to be playing from around this kind of range, you know? To where, if the payload were under the bridge. You seem to be playing this kind of range with the Echo. And you really don't need to. Unless you're like, specifically going for an assassination play, like you can, I don't know, drop down sticky and then go for something like that. Go with your sticky focus beam combo. But if not, Echo, I mean, she's probably the spammiest flanker there is. Because she just has so much, she has 15 shots that all do a shitload of damage. Like, these have a potential to do 102 damage if you hit all three of them to the head. And that's just, it's crazy. And you have 15 shots that all fire pretty quickly. The projectile speed is really solid as well. So with Echo, really, you want to be playing range until somebody's low. If somebody's low, you can try and go for an assassination over the top, something like that, you know? Or maybe, like, get into a safe angle. But, yeah, the long-range damage really is one of her strongest points that people tend to neglect, if I'm completely honest. And you can do the same thing with her as you can with Fair, where you can slide over the roofs to get more time until your glide comes back. Because obviously when you glide, you can, or when you're on the roof, you fall slower, like I said. That's why Diva can fly infinitely on these things. Is that a thing still? I don't actually know. Diva flying infinitely by just holding fire on the roofs.
I'm not sure.
Because this is honestly the most useless tech. You so rarely get use out of something like this. But it's just so funny to me. Oh yeah, I think do I fall at the same speed? No, you definitely fall slower while shooting still. Alright, so is that helpful? In
Yeah.
figuring out what you need to be working on? You want to go into ranked now?
Yeah.
Alright, do you want to see if Corona wants to join?
Did you say Corey?
Corona.
Oh. Yeah, we can. My
Alright.
DPS is not diamond. He wants diamond.
I mean, I'm sure he means just a blame big deer. Alright, so I'm gonna end the stream there then.